Good evening, everyone. It's really rather late, getting late for me anyway, here in Lynchburg, Virginia. If you are watching me from wherever it is you're watching me, I am Alpha Cromwell, and I'm located in Lynchburg, Virginia, where I run an academy called City Tutoring. But I wanted to first express my thanks, my gratitude to all of the thousands, at this point, over 47,000 people have subscribed to the channel. And the message for this evening, I was about to go on a walk. I'm actually in my office. This is one of the few parts of my sprawling southern house that is electrified, and I've made it operative, of course, to do the videos and to just kind of use it as an office. Even so, as you can see, there's still a lot of things in here that are over 30 and 40, sometimes even more than 40 years old, as my computer and my fan. Those of you, by the way, thank you all who have asked me about the fan. It's from the 1920s, by the way. It's a Westinghouse fan, and yes, it still works. The only thing is, it's been rewired. It used to have one of those cloth wires, but a lot of it has asbestos, and we wouldn't want that. So I had an electrician rewire it. We're very blessed here in Lynchburg. We've got a lot of people here who they do traditional things here. There's a lot of tradesmen here. I love talking to tradesmen. A lot of AC repair people, also a lot of young men, by the way, getting into the trades, like our grandparents and our ancestors. So that's a very good thing, which goes to show that it dispels the myth we constantly hear from the urban classes, the urban population, the elitists on some of the major cities in America, who say, "Oh, it's impossible to create families or to have a traditional lifestyle in 2025." That's nonsense. I see a lot of young men, especially people who come here to fix things in my house, and they're all in their early 20s, and some of them have gone to trade schools. Some of them have two or three. I know one, the gentleman who, if you're watching, by the way, you know what I'm talking about. Thank you for coming yesterday. He has a gentleman who came yesterday. He already has 5 children, and he's only 22 years of age. So this whole thing about you can't do this or you can't do that, it's nonsense. It's an excuse. You can do the things that God made you to do. And I want to make this message for the ladies and gentlemen, especially those of you who sit in class wondering, why am I being taught by someone who doesn't know what they are doing? So this message, it's a motivational message really for tonight, since I know it's getting late, but I figure a lot of you are on the East Coast, and maybe you're on the other side of the world, who knows? But whenever you see this video, this message is for you. I'm not talking to the obedient overachievers. I'm not interested in overachievers. They're good people, but that's not the focus here. I'm not talking about the inspirational stories of struggle and triumph. You hear that a lot on a lot of channels. No, I'm talking to the student who, and that's probably the majority of you, you're tired of confusing lectures, unclear assignments and expectations, and teachers who act like it's your job to figure them out. And you've been told many times to try harder, to stop complaining. But maybe, just maybe, you're not the one perhaps dropping the ball. Maybe what you needed all along, perhaps in some cases, was not a lecture. It was someone who actually knows how to teach. And if that sounds like you, you're exactly one of the reasons, one of the inspirational reasons that I had to start City Tutoring was to cater to those students who were being and are being neglected by an entire system that is flawed. And many times you've been told to be quiet, you've been told to follow rules and trust the process. But you have to be honest. The process hasn't done much for you. And deep down you've always felt it wasn't you personally holding things back, it was the way everything was being taught. I've had a very high number of young men and women, especially the young men, who are being neglected in our America today, who come to me and say, you know what? If only somebody would have told me what you had told me 4, 3, 4, 5 years ago, I would have been a different young man today. So in that case, you didn't fail the class failed you. And you've been stuck in a system that confuses, making things hard unnecessarily hard with making them meaningful. It's a system that doesn't teach, it just piles on, and hoping that you'll somehow figure it out on your own. You know exactly the kind of nonsense I'm talking about. You show up, you sit through the lecture, you stare at the assignments, and you think, what am I even looking at? And then the test comes, and suddenly the tests have become a twisted guessing game. It's not about what you know, but what some test writer thinks you should have magically absorbed. There are a lot of times the tests today are like trick questions, nitpicky wording, answers that, excuse me, that all look the same in the multiple choice. And when you ask for help, you get told review the notes, as if those ever made sense in the first place. So yeah, you're not crazy. It really is that bad. I want to appreciate all of you who praised my last video. I really wasn't expecting so many people to say that they had a good that it was beneficial to them. Praise God for that. I'm just always shocked. I never expect these things, and I just make the videos because I start each day with an idea. I pray in the morning, and I know you Europeans watching. I know I get a lot of Europeans watching. I know you don't pray as much, but here in America, the real Americans, we pray. We pray. Even the indigenous populations were known for prayer. They prayed to the pagan gods, but they did have prayer. Um, but some of you even work it out on paper. You do the math properly, and you get it marked wrong because the answer choices are sometimes they're sloppily written, or you did not match the exact format. Some adjunct with a grudge and some funny accent, perhaps, prefers. You know, I had a young man you know who I'm talking about, the recent, the latest video, the previous video, and you told me that that was what's happening. You understand the material, but you're being downgraded not for your knowledge, but for formatting issues, which is ridiculous. You know, they have a real fear these days of students who actually know more than the teachers. They have a real fear of it, not just of students who know more, but of students who cannot be controlled. They don't know what to do with you, really. So they label you disruptive and they move on. But let's not pretend modern education is rigorous. It is not. Modern education has become mechanical. It's hollow, it's sloppy, it's haphazardly digitized nowadays by people who barely understand the software they're using. But you're not some, I would venture to say, you're not some parrot waiting to be trained. You don't want to regurgitate formulas that anybody could look up. You want to grasp the why, not just the what. And what do you get in return for that desire? You get a multiple choice quiz, auto-graded nowadays by a robot. And it's designed by someone who treats mathematics like a set of flashcards or by someone with a certificate in classroom management. I've seen that a lot. Whoop-de-doo. No wonder you're frustrated. You should be. You want more. You expect more, especially for the money you pay. But, you know, like I always say, I don't have to promote City Tutoring because I've always said it's not for everyone. It's a very unusual place because at my academy, we do things differently. We draw from a system, a tradition that once defined excellence. It's really the classical, old school model that dominated American education before it was softened before recognition. Back when it was softened, I mean, what you see today really is just shocking. Even some millennials have realized it. They say it's beyond recognition. And back then, rigor was not optional, and mathematics was treated not as content to be consumed, but as a discipline to be respected. So at City Tutoring, we do not start with type this into a calculator and hope you catch on and hope for the best. We start with the real bones: structure, logic, patterns, matrices, vectors, Euclid. We don't water it down. We don't apologize for complexity. We teach it straight, step by step. And suddenly, all those abstract concepts that everyone else may feel impossible, everything starts to make sense here. We train your brain to stop guessing and start seeing. And this is how education works. in the past, not just in this country before the 1990s, but in every serious society where process was sacred and agreement, not consensus, was the foundation of learning. Because truth does not ask for your opinion, it asks for your precision. But if you want to be excellent, if you want to be truly excellent, not just in your test scores, but in your clarity of thought, that's what I'm here to show you, what the schools cannot and will not. Because I'm not going to lower the bar for you. I will show you where the bar always should have been. Because I believe that you deserve better. No matter how many times you've stumbled or pushed back or been written off, I know some of you, a lot of you have been written off. You've told me. You've told me on the channel. And so it's not a free pass, but it's a real shot at learning. And it's not a system built to punish you for not fitting a mold. You're going to want to be part of the mold. And teachers who see you at City Tutoring, we see people as a person, not a problem to manage. And we don't have classwork or classes that busy work you. You have grades that count for what you actually understand, not how well you jump through hoops. And so it's a good thing. We encourage people to question things and to get answers that don't sound like excuses. And you deserve to be challenged. It's not about being controlled. It's about being challenged and teaching you how to think. But if your school cannot handle that, then you need to find a place that deals with the real you. Flaws, fights, and all. You know, I've turned around young men who pulled out knives on me in Paris and tried to rob me. Little did they know what I myself was packing. Beneath the suit, I can get just as raw. And I'll get into that trench with you no matter how tough it can get. And I don't say that to brag. It's wrong to brag. I say that as a reality. It is who I am. I will fight you. Now, whether you come from money or from struggle, this place is for students who want to claim what they are rightfully owed. It's a real, rigorous education. You've seen it on some of the videos. It doesn't insult your intelligence. Now, if you're a wealthy student and you're stuck in, because you can be wealthy and still be stuck in a private school that feels more like a brand than a brain. You come here and you finally learn something real. We have schools like that here in Lynchburg. They're very expensive schools, but I doubt that there's any learning in them. I'm not saying everyone. There have been some good results. I don't want to name anyone because I don't want to be promoting anyone uh, or demoting any particular place. But a lot of times, what you're paying for is a brand, not necessarily the quality of education. So, if you're a student from modest means, on the other hand, and you're trying to claw your way up through a broken system, you can come here too, and you can learn how to surpass the very people who doubted you. And so if you're the kind of student who's been told you're too demanding or you're too intense or you're too into it or you're whatever problem they want to ascribe to you. I used to be called back in the day when I was in high school, I used to be called an intense person. Oh, you're so intense, as if that was a bad thing. If you've ever been punished for thinking instead of memorizing, if you're tired of being told to stay quiet while you watch your professors phone it in, come on. Then I invite you to join me. Not because it will be easy, but because it will be right. And City Tutoring is not just a tutoring center, though it is. We also, by the way, some of you asked me, a gentleman asked me the other day if we also teach humanities. If I also taught humanities, I have taught humanities before, but I have other people doing that now because I dedicate most of my time to God and to mathematics. But this is an academy. It's a place that can and will show you how to live, not just how to do mathematics. So thank you all who have left the positive comments. Please continue to subscribe to the channel. I hope that the videos are of some kind of inspiration to you. And you don't have to agree with me, by the way. You can ask anyone who has left comments on this channel. There is no censorship at City Tutoring. I have never censored anybody on this channel. The only time that there has ever been any censorship, as far as I know, was sometimes you get bots like spam, and they'll try to put like cryptocurrency propaganda or things like that. But I'm talking about like real people that you never get censored on this channel. I've been insulted on my own channel. Now, any other content creator would have either erased the comments or censored the comment. I don't censor anything. I don't erase. I don't feel a need. I'm very secure in myself. I love what God made me to be. So if that validates you as a person, if you want to leave an insult, you want to leave a hate comment, that's fine. I don't need your validation. I've got God. And I have also the thousands, over 40,000 people who have subscribed to the channel, and the vast majority of them are on board with the mission of what we do here at City Tutoring. So thank you all. I'm about to take a walk. And then, of course, we have to retire for the night because it's a long day ahead of me tomorrow. I have to, if you're a student watching me, you know what I'm talking about. We have two classes tomorrow, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. And so I got to prepare for those classes. I got to wake up very early to prepare for those classes. And then we'll see what happens. I'll try to post another video on matrices tomorrow, if not on Thursday. But I'm working for you. I'm here for you. This is my passion in life. This is what God made me to be. Thank you all. God bless and good night.